The following is a presentation of the Belly Up Sports Media Network.
This is the main event.
This is your main event, Mark's Podcast. I am your host, lifelong wrestling fan, former radio guy, cat and dog dad, and the master and ruler of this podcast. I am Troy, and joining me here again today are four pretty awesome dudes to fill out this overcrowded new world order of podcasting, brother. It's Greg's little brother, Matt. We've got Don, and we've got brothers Ramon and Joe. This is picking up from where we left off last week. I told you I was going to have to split the podcast in two because we went for nearly 4 hours going on about Greg, but he deserved it. It was cathartic and awesome for all of us. But this week we're going to be talking about our favorite sports memories with Greg, our favorite wrestling memories with Greg, going on vacations with him to various places, usually to see wrestling shows and whatnot, different Greg-isms, we like to say, and his quirks that always made us laugh and stuff like that, and just little things we remember from our time together with a great dude and a great friend and the former co-host of this here podcast. But let's get into it without wasting any time. We're gonna get right back in where we left off last week.
Greg had walked off somewhere. I walked outside for some. I don't remember what it was, but I was outside of one that in 2015, and I think, or no, it was one in New Orleans. Sorry. Either way, Velvet Sky her car pulled up, and then she walked by me and some other dude having a smoke outside, and the guy looked like, well, I'm not going to cast aspersions, but let's just say he didn't look clean. But he's like, he watches her walk in. He looks at me. He's like, yeah, she looks a lot hotter on TV, and I'm like. I'm like, okay, bro. Like, what to say about that? And then that was the same weekend that Ramon actually sent us a picture. He was like, "You guys are on the network," at the Hall of Fame ceremony. Yeah, because Ramon took a picture. He was watching. He saw Greg and I. I was. You can see Greg better because he's way taller than me. But I'm like there in a blazer and an Ultimate Warrior T-shirt. And they panned across the crowd and barely saw us, paused it and took a picture and sent it to us. And Greg's like, "Hey, we're on TV." Ramon, you got to tell the ant lover story.
Oh gosh. So WrestleMania in Orlando, WrestleMania 3. Taker and Roman. So we fly out to Orlando, but our hotel's a little further down, so we're waiting for the bus. And complete dorks, we're wearing our wrestling shirts on our way to our hotel. Guys, you guys here for WrestleMania? Yeah, of course. That's why we're wearing wrestling shirts. Like, oh, I'm only here for the indie shows. I'm not going to be here for WrestleMania. I live in Boston. I'm going to fly back Sunday. I don't care about WrestleMania. I'm just here for Joey Janela's spring break. You guys goes on and on about Joey Janela's spring break. Where else are you going to see Glacier and Doink on the same card? Okay, we're definitely not saying that's this guy on the bus. Or hopefully not on our bus. Hopefully not on our bus.
Greg said in his defense, he was right.
He was right. There was no other card with Joy and Glacier. So sure enough, he gets on our bus, and we're like, we're not going to sit next to the guy. He comes and sits right next to us.
Of course.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I haven't seen Joey Janela only 5 times on TV.
Oh my God.
That's a channel changer.
So he's like, oh yeah, I'm from Boston. I live around the corner from Matt Taven.
Ooh.
I mean, in detail, the way he would walk from his house to Matt Taven's house.
That's because he was a stalker and he probably lived there on purpose.
Oh, 100%.
I don't really remember what he said, but the way Greg and I retell the story is, yeah, he goes down this one alley and then he hops over this fence and he goes down this other alley.
He slowly slides the window open, hops through it.
He just stands there staring at it.
And he was the one with the bush in front. That's his house.
It's my favorite bush.
He usually leaves around 9 o'clock. comes back for lunch about 1:30. He usually has a sandwich from whatever restaurant.
Checks his bushes to see what that red light's coming from.
I just heavy breathing outside of my apartment. Oh,
Dude, you know the night Matt Taven won the world title, that dude was touching himself hard.
Guarded, and we're like ant lovers somewhere loving this. So we're he's in grave detail telling the way to Matt Taven's house, like he's Little Red Riding Hood, and then Greg's trying to be polite. He's like, he's like, oh, do you have wrestle? Was it WB crate or wrestle crate or boot crate or whatever it was at the time? It was like the wrestling one, and he's just the guy's like, oh yeah, I got one for my girlfriend. Oh, well, I was going to, but she was being a bitch. Well, she's not really my girlfriend. She's more like my aunt.
What?
Because those are comparable.
Greg immediately pulls a little thing that would stop the bus at the next stop. He's like, we're going to walk the rest of the way.
I would have ran.
Dude, he would tell me about that. He every once in a while, just out of nowhere, he'd be like, "Well, I was gonna get it for my aunt, but she was being a bitch." Oh my god!
Last time we see him, so we're the Hardy Boys are having a Hardy party thing in Orlando. It's right before they come back at Mania, and there's like we don't go in it. It's like caged off, but it's like in the middle of a street, and we're like, oh, let's just take a look. And we're like taking a look through the fence, and right on the other side of the fence is Aunt Lover, and we're like, oh no, we gotta get out. And then we're just on like indie shows for the rest of the weekend, and we're like,
He's fucking looking over your back. I know he's here.
I can smell it.
I'm gonna get it for my aunt.
Dude, there's that reminds me of all the weird like fans that we would see and comment on, like Burgundy Pants guy. You guys would always see.
Oh god, yeah, there's a guy at all the indie shows around here. He always wears burgundy pants. We have no idea his name. Just refer to him.
I like it. Greg would always tell me, he was like, I don't know if I can make fun of him or not. I don't know if he's special needs or whatever. I'm like, well, hell, dude, that's quite an assumption. But there was this one dude, we still don't know what the F, he was like, he dwarfed Greg. And I'm not talking about like just in like girth or whatever, but like in height too. This big ass dude wearing a polo shirt and slacks, carrying around luggage through WrestleCon, and you could smell him coming. We were like, what the hell is he doing? Like this massive dorky looking dirty dude smelled like armpit.
So you seen Omos.
Good God. No, this dude was like the opposite of Omos's skin color. I'll just say that. Instead of being dark as the night, he was white as the freshly driven snow. But yeah, no, this guy, and we were like, what's he carrying in the luggage? Do I want to know?
If it smelled that bad, it was probably his aunt.
I was like, is that your portable toilet? You just in that thing and keep going?
Those pictures of Velvet Sky.
Oh man, I felt sorry for anybody that had to shake his hand or anything like that. Like
sit next to him.
Oh God, that too. I remember I was a lot skinnier in 2015, and because Greg would get the tickets, and then he'd be like, "You get middle seat." I'm like, whatever. And we were at the sold out Raw after Mania, and in New York, and there was like Greg wasn't like real big, like he fit in the seat with plenty of room on either side of him, but he's still like a larger guy, and I'm sitting there, I'm literally sitting like leaned into him, because there's a gigantic French dude in the seat next to me. He was so big, he had to sit on the arms of the chair because he wouldn't sit.
Jesus.
and he had like some deep gravelly French voice, whatever. And I'm like leaning into Greg because I had nowhere else to go, and he was like, "Thanks." he was like, "Man," he's like, "You're taking a bullet on this one, man."
Greg would do that to me too. He would always try to get a seat next to the stairs, right? So he could like, he'd be like, you're sitting next to the weirdo. I'm like, damn it.
Dude, at Takeover Brooklyn, he was like, okay, so I got the closest to the stairs I can get, but he was like, I got seats 2 and 3. That means some lonely asshole got seat 1. And he was like, and you're sitting next to him. And sure enough, it was some big fat dude. And he sat there all night by himself, arms crossed. He gave, like, when something would happen that he thought was good, he would give like a little golf clap. Sat there expressionless all night. We're like, who the hell is this guy? Like,
Why is he here?
yeah, we're like, are you enjoying yourself? We're like, what's going on, man?
The guy was
He was there for a pleasant evening.
Yeah, right.
So the Las Vegas SummerSlam a couple years ago, they went, and for some reason I never saw Greg. Probably because we were in Las Vegas and damn, you just don't want to be with me in Las Vegas. Anyways, so I had bought 4 tickets, right? I bought cheapest seats I could find, way up in the boonies. I just wanted to see the Raiders Stadium, whatever. I think they were sitting up there too somewhere. Anyway, so we get there, right? We get to SummerSlam and we're going in, and I'm already pounding a 12-pack of Coors Lights because that was our uncle's drink, and was seeing the Raiders Stadium for the first time. So we walk up to go get into the stadium, and I give them our ticket, and they go, "Oh, your seats have been canceled. You need to walk up to the booth." Right? She's like, "But you got to walk all the way around." And so we go in. Right, we walk all the way around. My kids are now panicking that they're not going to get to see SummerSlam, and my brother's texting me, "Where the hell are you guys? Like, why aren't you in yet? We're in already. We're in our seats, wherever the hell they were up top." And so I walk up to the booth, and the lady goes, "Oh, you're in luck. We're upgrading your seats." I go, "Huh?"
Oh, wow.
She goes, I'm upgrading your seats. All 4 seats get upgraded." So we get inside. We start walking around. We can't find a section. We asked one of the security guards. She's like, "See that door right there? That guy's going to give you a bracelet. You're going to go in that door. Your seats are in there, right?" We walk into this door. It's the Raiders Club section, right?
Oh, damn.
So we walk into the Raiders Club section. He hands us all 4 a bracelet. I sit down. We sit down in our seats. We have that one seat. So it's the one seat and then our 4 seats. The one lonely guy that you're talking about. So I'm sitting there talking to him, and he comes up and he goes, "Hey, you guys got the bracelets too?" And I go, "Yeah." And he goes, "You see that guy right there? Show that guy your bracelet. He's gonna let you in to the he's gonna let you into the little section down there. You go through the curtains. He's like, unlimited food, unlimited alcohol, unlimited anything you want." I shit you not, guys. Like, we went to Vegas and hit the jackpot. All you can eat food. Like, it was everything Al Davis wanted to eat. Like the hot dogs. Mark made sure that it was all Al stuff. Ice creams, popcorn, like water bottles, beers. It had to be Coors Light or Blue Moon. And I walk back up and I start talking to the guy or whatever, right? And they're like, I'm telling my brother, and he's like calling me an asshole from up top. and I asked the guy, and he goes, I go, "Man, I got lucky. We only paid $50 a seat. We got upgraded here." And he looks at me and he goes, "You what? $50?" He's like, "I paid $450 to sit here." Well, sucks to be.
Yeah.
That's awesome, though. Hey,
But me and that guy, we've been friends since.
nice.
That's awesome.
I see you drinking a Coors Light, and I'd walk up, I'd be like, I see you too, like beer.
It's not that I like beer, but it was free beer.
Oh, no, I fully admit, I would tell Greg, I'm like, well, you wouldn't know, you don't drink, but I was like, I have the opposite of a refined palate with beer. I was like, I drink piss water. Like, I was like, Coors Light, like Budweiser, Bud Light, that kind of stuff, like Busch Light. But
Yeah.
Hey,
and I went through a whole phase when we used to live in our other house where, like, I would go to the grocery store and look for the shittiest beer I could find.
we have some pretty beer out here in Ohio and Pennsylvania as well. They got Steel Reserve out there, so, and it's as as it sounds.
Oh, you still reserve. A whole completely different podcast that I have a bad experience with Steel Reserve.
Oh, speaking of the beer, that reminds me of something I did that pissed him off at SummerSlam, I think it was SummerSlam. Because we were sitting at the front row of the upper deck, whatever. So, like, there was just the wall in front of us, and people were like setting their beers on the wall, and I was like, I got to go to the bathroom, and I turned, and unfortunately, I didn't have my butt to the crowd. I had my butt to the wall, and I freaking knocked this dude's beer over and and I'm like, "Dude, I'm so sorry. I'll buy you a new one." He was like, No, I'm cool. He's like, "Don't worry about it. I'm gonna buy another one." I'm like, "All right, cool." Freaking Greg was pissed. He was like, "No, this whole section smells like beer." Things like, "Oh man, I hate that smell. Oh my god. And he's like he's got his shirt over his face, and I'm like, holy crap, dude! I was like, it'll be okay. And I went and I got one of the workers. I was like, hey, I spilled beer all over here. Can we help? Can you help me mop it up, whatever? And they bring like rags and stuff. We get it cleaned out. He's like, still smells like beer through here. Oh my god, I hate that smell. Whatever. I'm like, it'll be okay, dude. Like,
Yeah, you should see him with mustard at hot dog at the A's game. He's like, "Oh my god!" He was rushing me. He was rushing me to eat it. I'm like, he just gave it to me.
Dude, he didn't like mustard. What the f?
I never.
Oh yeah, he hated mustard and mayonnaise.
What did he? He only ate ketchup.
Yeah.
Oh my god. He was an interesting eater. I'll say that. I wouldn't call it picky, but he was. We would go to like when we went to Little Italy. Like I said, like we were in this like nice. It was a really nice restaurant. It wasn't like super high priced or whatever, but like whatever you want. And he's like, I want spaghetti and meatballs. I'm like, God dang it.
There's got a spicy meatball.
Yeah. And we got I don't know if you guys got them out there. And it's this chain place though. It's called Piatta Street Italian, whatever. And basically you can like pick your pasta and your sauce or whatever. Again, he just went spaghetti and meatballs. And I'm like, dude, you could pick any combination of pasta and sauce and meat, and you're like, nope, spaghetti and meatballs. Like, okay. I'm like, I guess it's better than another friend that I have that's the pickiest eater I've ever seen in my life. And Greg would always mock him too, because we went to Dave & Buster's and his order. He was like, I want a plain cheeseburger with good old yellow American cheese, and that's it. And Greg,
are we talking about Don?
No.
Not put onions on mine.
Yeah. Well,
oh wait a minute, no bread for you, huh, Don?
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, they brought it out, and he was like, this has onions on it. And I'm like, just pick them off. He's like, no, I don't want to eat it, and whatever. And he freaking sent it back and got another. I'm like, holy crap, dude.
I remember the story.
Yeah, he also was like wanting us to eat, like the whole time we were there, he was like wanting us to eat at like Hooters or something. I was like, bro, I'm like, let's not eat at a chain place that we can eat at anytime we want to. I'm like, that was like Greg and I would, if we were out somewhere unfamiliar, we would only eat at a chain restaurant if nothing else was available. As like I'm like, when I'm at a place, I like to experience the local food, not just, oh, what does their McDonald's taste like?
We were in Houston, and there was this little restaurant, and I remember it was actually really good right there. But I tried to order a beer, and they're like, "Oh, we don't serve alcohol here." Like, Texas had the weirdest freaking alcohol rules. They would.
Oh.
I had a connection flight in because I went to see my dad recently, and I had a connection flight on the way back in Houston for it was like 2 hours or more. And so I'm like, well, I'm starving. I'm gonna get something to eat. And I was with my sister, and she's vegan, so she got some like smoothie bullshit, whatever. But I'm looking through like what they had, and I'm looking through like what they had available in the airport, and I'm like, holy crap! Like, or no, it was Dallas. That's right, it was Dallas Fort Worth. And I was like, they have Whataburger. I'm like, all these Texans keep talking shit about Whataburger or whatever. I'm like, so I got to get one. I got it and I ate it, and I was just like, meh. And like I posted online, I was just like, it's very meh. And like anybody from that area was like, oh my god, it's so good. I'm like, what are you eating that I'm not getting here? Like, it's just meh.
Yeah, it's the same thing for us here with In-N-Out. I'm not a big In-N-Out guy.
Yeah.
When Greg and I were in Dallas for WrestleMania, like, oh, we got to try Whataburger. Austin's always talking about it. And then we got it. We go there, and I was gonna pay. And like my card wasn't working, and the guy's like, "Oh, you can just have it." So I think they gives it to us for free. So I think I'm a little biased because it was free food. So I was like, "It's all right."
Not bad.
Yeah, I mean, it's not bad. It just I was like, I wouldn't like seek it out again.
You were expecting to be blown away, and you was just Yeah,
it's kind of like kind of like people here in Ohio go on about like Five Guys burgers and fries. And I'm like, dude,
Yeah.
Like,
I would rather have a Five Guys than an In-N-Out, though, to be honest.
Oh, I don't know about that.
I can't say. I do not like Five Guys because it's greasy as hell. It's overpriced, and I'm just like, eh. And everything's a la carte. I don't like that.
Yeah, that's true. You know, one place I
pricey.
underestimated, a lot of people were talking crap on, was at Raising Cane's. I actually had it recently, and I was just like, it's not bad.
Yeah,
You have to try it.
You got to get the sauce.
Yeah, it's the sauce. The sauce.
Yeah, honestly,
They're a
like
chicken place selling the sauce.
yeah, I killed both sauces that came with it. Yeah.
I kept trying to talk Greg into going to Chick-fil-A, and he kept like putting it off. I'm like, dude, just freaking go. It's good chicken, man.
It's good chicken. I just cannot support that place. So that's.
I always go. The line's wrapped around the building, but freaking. Yeah. I haven't gone there in a while. There's only literally one thing on the menu my wife can eat. It's like a Southwest wrap or whatever the hell. But the one thing I was thinking, I was like, it's kind of dark, but it's funny. Is I had this other friend Santiago that passed away a few years ago. I think in 2020, and he had a podcast that I would listen to. It was just like inappropriate humor, and he had like a thing on his website where you could send in questions or whatever, and people would. I swear to God, like one of his ex-wife's friends like sent in like a death threat to him one time, and he read it on the podcast. And he was like, "I think I know who this is." And he's like, "You're still a bitch." And then he moved on. And then I would always send him like 3 because it was all anonymous, so you could put in like a fake name or whatever. And I would send him in 3 a week and just random stuff. And it would start off like the question, like you see on like the wrestling shoot interviews, whatever. I would come up with a weird ass name, and then the question would be like one of his co-hosts was named like Logan or whatever, and the question would be like something normal, and it would go on this long winding thing, and then at the end I'd be like, so in conclusion, how big is Logan's dick? And every single one of them, and the like one I just wrote ass over and over until I ran out of room, and then I finished with how big is Logan's dick, and he was like, every week he like, as it went on, like every week more and more, he'd be like, man, I want to know who this guy is. He was like, this is hilarious, but he's like, every week, man, it's like, I don't know who this guy is. And then he passed away, and I told Greg, I was like, dude, it's kind of effed up, but he literally passed away without knowing that I was trolling him, so I win. I was like, and if he was alive right now, he would think that's effing hilarious. Greg would be like, I told Greg that, he's like, holy crap.
That's dark.
It is, but come on.
He would have thought the same thing too.
Yep.
What was that? You sound like you're in a can right now.
But if you never told Greg, it would have been the same thing.
Yeah. Well, if we want to talk about anything in actual wrestling right now, is there anything you guys are looking forward to seeing in the next year, wrestling wise?
Yes, Roman winning his title back.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Cody's
Becoming
gonna hold it for another year.
SummerSlam, he'll lose it. Yeah.
Maybe that long, but he's gonna. It's Cody's time right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's not gonna break the Roman streak. I guarantee you.
Oh, no one's gonna do that for a while.
No. It won't be that long. I just don't think right now with Roman, he doesn't need the belt. Like he's just transcended that now. Yeah, he's gonna hold it again probably, but it's gotta be like organic.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I think he's gonna hold the world title before he will the Universal again.
You guys are all wrong. The Rock's gonna beat Cody's ass, and once again become WWE champion.
Dude,
the final boss.
The final boss.
I kind of want to see it, but like, I definitely want to see him and Roman.
Oh my God, yes.
It'd be effed up if he beat Cody and then lost to Roman. It's like
that's exactly what's gonna happen. It's gonna be when he beat Punk and then lost to John Cena at WrestleMania 29.
And then at the end, the Rock's gonna put the title and the Uno fall on him.
Oh man.
There you go.
Then Goldberg just comes out and butt screws all of them and wins.
And that's the match's last match of 2025, winning the title. A WCW guy winning it at the end.
Oh my God, Goldberg came out and destroyed everybody. And then John Cena came out for his final match ever, and Goldberg destroyed him too. Good night, everybody. The tape machines are rolling.
Oh man, Uncle Dave would have a field day.
Oh gosh.
Oh well, actually, you see that it's like, well, like, it's like, that would be his whole response. And then Brian would
Plans
be like,
change.
Shut the fuck up, Dave.
I remember, dude, somebody when AI voice recreation was becoming a thing. I don't know if any of you guys heard the fake clips of Brian Alvarez and Dave Meltzer going back and forth.
Oh gosh, yeah.
I love the one. I saved the clip of it where Dave is going on. He's like, well, it's like, and Brian's like,
Shut the fuck up, Dave.
You shared that with me. Yeah.
yeah.
It's funny is that their show is really that in real life. It's just those two arguing and Alvarez trying to tell him how old he is.
Dude, what's funny is like, because I think Dave might be his boss. I don't know, but like, what's funny is like they're on like when they're on camera and you can see like the look on Brian's face where he's just like, dude, what the hell is he saying? Like, and he's like, yeah, okay, Dave. Anyway, go back and eat more of your oatmeal, man.
Go clean your office, you weirdo.
Oh, God.
Yeah, right. Apparently, did anybody see that real famous streamer Asmongold like recently? Like, he lives in his house is like disgusting, and he was showing,
yeah.
and he took out like 10 garbage bags full of shit to the road. Like, how do you live this way? And it's like he's a multi-millionaire and he lives in filth. Like, what the hell, man? Fix your teeth.
Then he showed up in New Orleans for WrestleCon.
Yeah, carrying luggage.
Carrying luggage.
And people asked him for his autograph.
And before then, Ramon actually ran into him on the bus, and he said his aunt was being a bitch, so he didn't get her wrestle great.
Greg took a piss next to him.
Yeah, right. Then shook his hand.
Took a peek. Yeah.
And his first stream ever was actually him outside of Matt Taven's home, and Matt just didn't know it.
Yeah.
Dude,
Go ahead.
Oh, that was the thing. I always told Greg, I was like, man, you were there live to see the Matt Taven win the world title, man.
Hey, I was there too. Gross.
Yeah, Matt Taven sold out MSG, dude, by himself.
The main event of that is Jay White versus Okada when Okada wins the New Japan belt back. And like, I'm the only guy cheering for Jay White, and the guy in front of me like hates Jay White, like Jay White killed his son or something. He's like, fuck you, and fuck Jay White.
Oh my
like,
god,
dude, chill.
What a freak!
I'll die over this. I'll die over this.
I'll die over this.
Speaking of Okada, that first time he flew into the Bay Area, the first thing he did when he got off the plane was he went to damn In-N-Out.
Oh yeah.
Oh Lord. Oh.
Anyway, this is good, bitch.
Double, bitch.
Bitch.
Holy shit!
No onions. Bitch.
We're going to hell.
That's the only English word he knows is bitch.
Right. It's like, dude, what is wrong with it? Okada was like the moneymaker, the rainmaker, and he comes over to everybody's like, yeah, he's in AEW to drop a swear.
and he's so blatant about his like.
That's another one Cornette talks about Okada. He's like, why is he wearing a suit and he has blonde hair? Why is he Cody? He calls him Cody.
Oh, Cody.
He's Asian Cody. Hey, we got Cody from home, or we got Cody.
We got Cody. You ordered Cody off a Wish.
He's Timu Cody.
Timu, yeah.
Timu Cody.
That's what they chose to. What the hell? That's what they chose to do with him to replace Cody.
Yeah.
Just young bitch and dye his hair blonde and put a suit on.
All right. No sledgehammer though. No breaking those.
Yeah, you can't do the Triple H slander, Cody or Okada. You can just be Cody Rhodes.
Only Cody can, and then go back to the company.
It's like that episode of Boy Meets World when Morgan tries to replace Eric with the fake Eric. It's like the Bucks just miss Cody Rhodes. They're like, all right, Okada, you could be Cody.
Oh, come on, you gotta say it like my brother always said it. The young.
The young
Like,
cook among the kids.
Yeah, he cleaned it up a little bit for the podcast. He's the young cucks.
Yeah.
Spot monkeys.
Spot monkey.
I like how I'm looking back through some of these messages Ramon and I were saying to sending to each other about the Gregisms. We covered the Wrestling Men Miho. My favorite. That's how they get you from Greg actually involved Ramon's son, because we were in Walmart and we saw the Mario Oreos. And he was like, dude, Ramon's kid came up and he was like, Greg, those are just like regular Oreos, and they just try to get you to buy them by putting Mario on the cover. He's like, that's how they get you.
Yeah, that's how they get you.
My kid's very smart.
Yeah, I was like, holy shit, dude. I would not
A little
have
too
that.
smart.
I was like, I would not have had that awareness at that age. And then
they're just logo branded. We're not paying for those.
They're just regular.
we're talking about the kid. We're talking about the kid who said, "You know, wrestling's fake, right?" And I say, "Yeah, so is Harry Potter." Broke his heart.
Wrestling's not fake. People are fake.
Have you guys seen Mallrats?
Yeah.
It's been a while.
It's like that. It's like that part. It goes up and it's like, wrestling's not real, right? And he's like, well, you know what? The Easter Bunny isn't real.
So speaking of like Mallrats and like Kevin Smith, like Greg hated like Kevin Smith all of his movies. There was this guy. Yeah, there's a guy out in I don't know, Don, you might have seen him in the GameStop out in Milpitas. He's always wearing the what's the movie from Clerks 2? The place they work in, the burger place.
Oh, movies.
Crap.
Yeah, movie. He's wearing like a movie shirt all the time, like the big shirt. And I'm
Oh my god.
and I'm like, dude, did you? I go to him like, did you get fired? You're not even supposed to be here today. And like, I'd make like Kevin Smith jokes, and Greg would be like, you guys are such dorks. And every time we pass by, I'm like, there's your buddy. Look at him. I'm like, sorry, I made a movie reference, dude. My bad.
You ever have your butthole licked by a fat man in an overcoat?
No ticket.
Oh my god. I didn't know he hated those movies. I guess it never came up in conversation. He would.
You know what?
Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. No. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say like that reminds me of, like, he hated like Lord of the Rings. Like he wouldn't even like give it a chance.
Yes.
But then he would talk crap about that guy who introduced us because he's like, oh, he's never seen Star Wars. And I'm like, you've never seen Lord of the Rings. Like, so what?
And they also hated Star Trek too.
Oh yeah,
He did.
I don't really like Star Trek. Yeah, we could connect over that one, but dude, he would get so mad at me if I talk crap on like Marvel or something like that.
Or no, you know what? No, this would piss him off when I would talk crap about all those Fast and Furious movies he left.
Oh God, yeah.
Family.
Speaking of that, did you guys see that actor that talked about the Marvel movies? Oh my god, they got so many Marvel movies. How many more are they gonna make? And they're all like, you're on like Fast 13.
Yeah.
And then and I would always tell him like, if it wasn't for The Rock, those movies would have died, right?
Yeah.
He'd get mad.
Yeah.
Like The Rock saved all of those Fast and the Furious movies. You know that, right?
with the CGI superpowers.
Oh,
How do you stop on the ground and
Oh yeah.
rock smash? Rock smash!
dude, I don't know if I told you about the day I broke his heart, because we had this other mutual friend a while ago, and him and Greg and that other dude would always be harping on me about watching, because I'd never seen the movies, and I think the fifth one had just come out or something like that, and they were like, dude, you gotta catch up, you gotta watch them. I'm like, all right, whatever, I'll give it a chance. And I watched the first movie, and they were like, well, what do you think? I was like, it was okay. And they were like, it was okay. And we're like, I don't really care about it. And I was like, maybe they get better. And Greg was like, nah, if you don't like that movie, just give up.
Even he's like, they're all downhill after that one. That's the good one.
He was like, dude, that was like the best one. And I was like, oh, well, then I give up.
Yeah.
I did that to somebody. They wanted me to watch John Wick. I'm like, I watched the first one. I'm like, that's all right.
Not bad.
Yeah, I got.
Oh, that's how I felt about what's that one movie? Oh my god, it's just like John Wick. I forgot his name in it. He was in a Training Day, I think.
Oh,
Ethan Hawke.
The
or
Enforcer.
Denzel Washington?
The Equalizer.
Equalizer.
Yeah, I got into the first one, second one. This last one, I was just like, eh.
I want to watch.
Oh,
the John
when we were in New York.
movies, but,
So Greg was really into those Equalizer movies. And in New York, he's like, oh, let's go watch it because the second one had just come out. I'm like, yeah, I never saw the first one. And we've been walking for 3 days because, like we just talked about, Greg wants to walk everywhere. So I'm like, you can buy my ticket, but I'm going to take a nap. So I just fell asleep during the movie. He was like, man, the movie was great. I'm like, that was a great nap, dude. I don't care.
When we went to New York the first time, right after the roofie incident, we went and watched G.I. Joe 2.
That was with The Rock as well, right?
Rock's in it as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was a good theater. That was a cool theater.
I remember, I think it was when we were in Columbus. There was or it might have been Cleveland. I don't even, it doesn't matter. But there was a big UFC fight that we all wanted to see. And it was like me, Greg, and a friend of mine had all went. And we all bought tickets to see it in the theater. And we were like pumped. And we're sitting there waiting. And I'm like, when's it starting? And he's like, man, this is like, what the hell? He's like, it should have started by now. They weren't even running previews or anything. I'm pulling it up on like Greg and I are going back and forth, pulling it up on a stream on our phone. And we're like, what is going on right now? And they're like, oh, we're having difficulties with the pay-per-view, whatever. Like, we waited until like halfway through the first fight. And then we're like, okay, we're done. They're like, yeah, we're not going to be able to get it up for a while. We're on the phone with a pay-per-view provider, and we're like, we get our money back.
Yeah.
And we ended up getting our money back and going back to the hotel room and watching it in ways, I'll say. And, and Greg was like, look, it's not our fault. We tried to give them our money.
Shut up and take my money.
Well, we would always do that with because like we'd be talking about an old pay-per-view, and he's like, oh, I watched that one live. And I'm like, did you pay for it, or did you go over to a friend's house and watch it on the old Scrambler box? And he's like, look, that friend is currently dead, so I don't think they can come after him anymore.
So, true story here from 1991, WrestleMania 7 till just after WrestleMania 17. I got every single pay-per-view.
And everything went digital. Yep.
I still have my VHS collection, by the way, in storage because I couldn't get rid of it.
Oh, were you saying you were like, did you pay for them or did you use
No,
like,
I did not pay for them. I used a Scrabble box.
Yeah.
And
All right, hit it. We got him, boys.
You said it live on air.
What are they gonna do now?
Yeah, that's what Greg would always say. He's like, statute of limitations, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Now, I was looking ahead, I guess. I haven't watched current wrestling in forever, so I don't really know what's going on.
Bloodline Civil War games. Come on now.
Yes, sir. They're all coming back.
Yeah, that part's cool. I did see what happened tonight, tonight, but
earlier, yeah.
I won't see anything.
I'm still waiting on Zilla.
Zilla?
That's gonna be a while. That's Umaga's son.
Yeah.
He's barely getting into wrestling. It's gonna be a minute
He's
before he
been-
shows up.
It's been like a year, maybe.
Yeah,
Did you see
if that.
Rikishi go off on Vince Russo over Jay Lethal or Jay Uso?
Yeah, he said that Jay was like a bitch for crying that he won the title or something.
Yeah, and Rikishi said keep his son's name out of his mouth, and if he had a problem, come find him and he'd fight him. I'm like, damn, dude.
Didn't Rikishi get stabbed?
Yes, because you want that ass in your face.
Oh, you never know with Vince Russo.
Bro, I didn't even.
Bro,
that ass, bro.
Bro, you won't even put it in my face, bro.
Bro, I slit his throat and he was gone forever, bro.
Bro, we lit him on fire, bro.
Bro, I lit his ass on fire and he stink faced me, bro.
Bro, we put his mom on a pole, bro.
Let's talk about the accent. We were in New York, the three of us, you know.
Oh,
So that week we get like the city pass, so we go to do like the Statue of Liberty and Empire State Building and all that shit, right? We go to the MoMA, right? So we go to the MoMA and like we're bored out of our minds about this museum, so we just start calling anything that's boring MoMA.
You fucking MoMA.
You fucking MoMA.
With the New York accent.
With the New York accent, yeah. And then what was the other thing we were saying too? We were like, "Fuck out of here!
Fuck out of here, you fucking MoMa!
So, we're walking
here, you fucking MoMa!"
Yeah, no, but we're walking by, and some guy's on the phone, and he's yelling at whoever the hell he's yelling at, and he goes, "Fuck out of here!" Me and Greg start yelling at each other. He said it!
Dude, I remember walking around New York. One day I wore a Hulkamania shirt, and it was just like not long after all the controversy original. His tape came out where somebody recorded him dropping some slurs. Or whatever.
Oh my god!
I was wearing that around New York with Greg, and dude, nobody said. The only things anybody ever said to me was I had a couple people compliment me on my shirt, and Greg laughed because he's like, "Dude, you got 2 compliments all day on that shirt, and both of them are black dudes." I was like, dude, that's freaking awesome. And then there was one day both of us wore our NWO shirts. We're walking around, and we went to we were like, oh, let's go to the top of Trump Tower or whatever. And we go to the top there when you still could. And we were just like looking around, looking at the skyline and stuff. And this other dude walks up there and looks around, turns, sees us in our NWO shirts. He's like, don't you guys have to go beat up Lex Luger? And he left. Freaking Craig lost it. He was like, you know that's a wrestling fan because that's a hella obscure name to throw out there.
He's like, don't you remember Luger gets taken out of that match?
We were like, we should have been like, no, you're the third man.
That was Mabel.
Yeah. There was there was this time we went in the subway and there was this attractive looking girl that like was like kind of staring at me for a little bit. And at first I was like, oh, maybe she thinks I'm cute and whatever. And then after a while I'm like, she's probably like, why is that dude wearing the same shirt as his buddy? It's like,
That's how we were in Rockefeller. We were in Rockefeller Center to get Blue Bottle coffee, and this woman walks by, very large chested woman walks by, and me and Craig are staring at her, and then like the security guard's like, "Eyes up, fellas."
Pick your jaws up off the ground, dude.
I've been like, bro, don't call me out like that, bro.
But he saw her too. He knew exactly. He's like, he said it with like a wink and a smile, like, "Eyes up, fellas."
That's awesome. Yeah. He questioned me at one point when we were because, like I said, he always let me choose the food because he was like, "Oh, I trust your judgment." And we went to this one barbecue place in Louisiana, out in the middle of the boonies, and we're driving around and like, I don't know about this place, and then we get out of the car and walk in. We finally eat, and he was like, "All right, I don't question this place anymore. This is some of the best barbecue I've ever eaten in my life." I'm like,
Did he get beef ribs?
Oh yeah,
He always got
he
beef
did.
ribs.
Yep.
He always got beef. And then once in a while he'd order ribs and they'd be pork ribs and he'd get sick and he'd be like, "Oh, I shouldn't have got those ribs."
He ate meat.
Ew, COVID.
Dude, COVID.
Yeah. Oh, crap? There was another one you had sent me that I was thinking of. Shibata's brain.
Oh yeah.
Forgot about that.
Take it out to clean it or whatever.
Yeah, he was like, well, they had to take it out, operate on it, and then put it back in his head.
Yeah.
That's what Uncle Dave Meltzer says.
Yeah.
Therefore, it's gospel.
He's my pissing buddy.
They played swords. Yeah.
Every time I said
crossed the
something to him, said something to him about that, he'd be like, "Oh, I should have pissed on him."
I know he gets.
I had that incident one time with Terrell Owens in LA. I didn't realize that I was opening the door for the girl that he was with, and I opened the door for her to be nice, and the dude followed out and mugged me because I guess everybody inside was like kissing his ass, and I'm like, I walk inside and everybody's like, "Oh my god, it's Terrell Owens," and I'm like, "What's it, man? I should have slammed the door in his face."
I was at the Browns game when he was with the Eagles. I was at the Browns game where he goes up and rips a sign down that says "T.O. has B.O." He gets like hella pissed. I'm like, dude, it's like barely insulting. Like, good grief, man.
Maybe we had an endorsement with like Speed Stick at the time or something.
Yeah.
Real quick, another Gregism, and I told Matt about this one recently when we were on our fig hunt because we'd always stop at Target to fig hunt or whatever, but it also had like the cleanest bathrooms. But like we would like mess with people that were in there. So if someone was like in a urinal, in a urinal, we'd stand on each side of them and be like, "Oh yeah," like obscenely talk about how well our pisses were, and then talk to each other while the person was in the middle.
Good God.
They would get that out of there so quick.
I always loved when we would go in the bathroom. He'd go into one.
You love going in the bathroom with him?
He'd go in the bathroom with
I just love going in the bathroom. That's where you see the wieners. Anyway, when Greg would go off into a stall and you just hear, "Ah, my ass."
That's from Harold Kumar.
Greg going to be like, he'd be like, "Hey man, nice pubes."
I like there was one time we were in the Dave & Buster's and I think it was the one in Times Square, and the bathrooms there were kind of gross. But on my way out, there were some dudes in the stalls and they were taking some loud poops. And
damn.
Dropping juices.
But on my way out, I was like, "Oh yeah."
He brought that one back a lot too from that. Oh,
I freaking love that stuff. Just at random times.
Oh,
Did he tell you at the Dave & Buster's we ate next to Primo?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it was so random. It was Primo and some other Puerto Rican fighter from the UFC. we were like, you guys really all stick together, don't you?
They're all cousins.
It's my primo.
Well, the funniest one was when I was on a plane. I think it was to WrestleMania. I can't remember who it was. One of the Mexican wrestlers on the plane. He like got up when the seatbelt light was on, and he was going back to the bathroom, and the flight attendant's like, no, you got to sit. And the guy's like pretending he doesn't speak English, and he's like, huh? No, oh no. And I'm like, I know for a fact you speak perfect English. What the hell? You're just trying to use the bathroom. And finally, the flight attendant was just like, all right, whatever.
Okay.
I forget. I was listening to some podcasts recently, and then they're like, Taco would act like he didn't speak English, and then like he accidentally let it slip to one of them, and they all knew that he spoke English the whole time. He's like, yeah, I also know when you guys are talking about me too.
Oh man, my favorite accent catch was the Kofi. Wait a minute. I got a couple questions. Where are you supposed to be Jamaican?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I liked. I think it was Mick Foley said he was in charge of like taking care of Tajiri because like Tajiri didn't speak any English, so he had to like in ECW he had to cater him or like chauffeur him around, and then like I think that was I think it was in WWE it was William Regal. It was like just make sure he figures stuff out.
I bet he
did the old rush hour thing. Yeah, he did the old rush hour thing where he just smiled and nodded his head.
He just looks at William Regal. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Nobody understands the words that are coming out of your mouth.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I'll kill you and all the damn temptation.
Let's take a quick break. Find all of our archives on youtube.com/@marksonmedia and subscribe. And follow us on Rumble at rumble.com/C/marksonmedia and rumble.com/C/main event marks. We'll be right back.
Ooh, yeah. When they originated the phrase cream of the crop, they're talking about you, Greg. Let me get this stuff off. Let me talk to you as a man and not Macho Man. Hi. I'm Kyle Sullivan, a.k.a. Shaggy Von Doom, the host of Here in Puckburg, and the co-host of Locked On Avalanche. It's hard to believe it's been a year. I met Greg when we were on the same network. I reached out to him because I was a huge fan of the main event marks. I loved hearing his passion and how he would relive those moments like he was watching it again for the first time. You'd hear that raw emotion and how it would hit him in the moment, and then you would hear the cynical analyzation of that moment as he's aged over time. And I loved hearing that balance and how he played through the show, and we became really good friends. He would reach out and we'd talk sports. He loved hockey. He was a guest on my show where we got to talk about hockey, and he would DM me all the time about his Sharks, or if any of our teams happened to match up. There was trash talking, and then contemplation on where our teams were going. He was a great guy. Used to talk to him all the time. I'd get random DMs about little news tidbits that he'd hear, and I would do the same with him with wrestling. I would ask him questions here and there. He was salt of the earth. Truly a man that followed what he loved and got to do what he loved. You can hear it in his episodes of Main Event Marks. He's sorely missed. It was an honor to call him a friend, and my phone doesn't feel the same anymore now that it's not full of him lamenting about his San Jose Sharks. Greg, you're missed. I love everybody, friends and family that are having moments like this, remembering Greg. Power to the Marks. And you guys are awesome. I love everyone. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to get to remember Greg a little bit in his domain. You'll never be forgotten, bud. And your Sharks will never be good. Much love to you. Too sweet. 2 words for you. I miss you.
Don't forget to follow me on X, Instagram, and Gab at @marks_on_media, on Facebook at Marks on Media Tube, on Getter, True Social, and Blue Sky at Marks on Media. Now, back to the show.
I know the one, not an obscure wrestler, but I know the one wrestler Greg and I would always be like, I don't know how he gets so much hate, and we would always support him was Lex Luger.
Colin Delaney.
that would be an obscure one. But no, we were always like pulling for Lex Luger or whatever, and like we got into so many fights with people online about it. I don't know if you remember Bruce Mitchell of the Wrestling Torch. Like he freaking argued with me on Twitter about it. He was like, actually, nobody gave a shit when he won the WCW title. I was like,
go play a video game for your friends.
You know what? And I was just watching this too. Was Kevin Nash goes when he beat Hogan for the title, people wanted him to win so bad. Like he was so over going into that match, and it was funny that when he beat Hogan, he made him tap out in Detroit, where he had lost to Yokozuna at the Palace of Auburn Hills.
That's where it was. Yeah.
Didn't even think about that. Yeah. And he was hella over. People blew the roof off, and like and Uncle Douche and Bruce Mitchell would always say was they're like, oh well, they just like popped for the title win, and then after the cameras went off, nobody gave a shit, just went home. That's like,
usually how shows end.
Yeah. I'm like, I highly doubt they were like, okay, cameras are off, we quit caring now. Go home, everybody.
No, they sat there and looked at the ring for a while, and we're mad.
Yeah, they're waiting for the
wait in the ring until everybody left.
Yeah, they start cheering, ring boy, ring boy.
They're waiting for that Marvel after credit scene, like something's gonna happen.
Yeah, I know, right?
The Triple H era, anything could happen.
Was it one WrestleMania we stood out till hella late after they left? Was it Detroit? I think we stood there. It was like hella late, and then they finally kicked us out.
35. Oh, okay, I see what you're talking about. I thought you were talking about just a generic show. Yeah, because I know WrestleMania 35. like nobody could freaking get out of there.
Oh gosh.
That was that one in New York that just went on and on and on for like 10 years.
Dude, we got eight. Well, by the time we got out of there, it started raining. Oh my God, he was pissed. He was so pissed.
Yeah,
so Orlando,
like,
when we walked for like 3 miles to get away from the building just to order an Uber.
Jesus.
Oh my God.
He's like, no, it's still a surcharge. We got to keep walking.
Dude, he was my like he and I had like real good luck with parking at WrestleMania because they were like trying to close up. I don't know why, like that close to an event time, you're like trying to close up a parking garage, but they're like closing down the parking garage as we go in, and like I'm about to drive out and pay, and they're like, just go. And I'm like, awesome, because it would have been like $30 or something like that to pay.
I think he said another one, like you guys were about to pay, but like the machine wasn't working, and then they didn't charge you.
I know I had that one time. I had that in with my wife in Indianapolis, but then in Detroit, the last show we went to, I messaged him. It's like, dude, we went there in like end of July. I'm like, they sent me a bill in the mail, said I didn't pay, and I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm like, I'm not paying this, because first they fined me for not paying it, and then they charged me whatever I didn't pay. So altogether it was like $40. I'm like, I'm not paying you a damn dime.
You're like, it wasn't worth the postage you sent this in.
I know. And like they argued with me, and they're like, well, you were supposed to pay before you left. I'm like, you lifted the gate and let me out. Well, that's not the point. You were supposed to. There were posters, and you were supposed to pay. I'm like, okay, I'm not from that area. Every parking garage I've ever been to across this country doesn't let you out until you pay them.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, that you're supposed to pay on the app. I'm like, I'm not downloading your damn app for one day. Like, F off.
Yeah.
And they tried to like negotiate with me. They're like, well, just this once, we'll mark it down to $35. I'm like, just this once, you kiss my ass. I'm like, you're not getting money. Finally, they stopped communicating with me and never bugged me ever again.
It's a
They
magic.
really don't have a leg to stand on at that point. Like it's.
Yeah. I'm like, you let me out, bitch.
You want to come on my podcast? We can have it out on there.
One time we went up to Seattle, watched the Aces and the Mariners, and then the friggin' Mariners beat us And then we go back to the parking lot. We sit there for like an hour and a half just waiting for the freaking gate because it was like jammed so bad.
Wow, that's nuts. I hate
Like
going
you
to them
said-
shows like that.
Like you said, he hated being in cars. He was so pissed.
Yeah, of
Can we get
course.
out of here already? I'm like, dude, I can't go anywhere. We're just sitting here now. We live here now.
It forward my mail.
He was even more mad because the A's lost.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, dude, we went to see the Indians and the Yankees when we were in New York because the Indians
Cleveland
happened-
baseball team, sir. Thank you.
Shut the f up.
I believe in Stephen Vogt.
We were because we were gonna be there and we were like, oh, let's take in a Yankees game just to say that we saw it. You know, it's baseball hallowed ground, whatever, like him or hate him. And I was like, oh, I wonder who's playing. Turned out to be the Indians. I'm like, hell yeah. So I wore my Indian stuff, and he freaking borrowed one of his friend's Mets jerseys. He was like, I just want to piss people off. And
Pissed me off. I hate the Mets.
well, we went there and like they have like their Hall of Fame there, like you can go through. And there's this dude that's like hella into everything. And there's this like kid, like this random kid going through. He's like, "Hey kid, you know who this is right here? This Yogi Berra, and he did blah 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 blah." And they're like going through all this bull in the museum. And then he looks over, he sees Greg. He's like, "Hey yo, how many championships you got over there in Queens?"
He would repeat that. He would repeat that all the time.
Yeah,
How many times y'all got there to the Queens?
yeah. I was like, what the heck? And Greg was like, oh, I can't remember what Greg said. Something like, oh, I'm an A's fan or something like that. Just confused the absolute out of this guy.
To answer your question, bro, 2. Because we went to a Yankee game, and they have their 27 titles and all their monuments. We went to a Mets game, and there's their 2 championships.
Of course. Oh, dude, on the way out, because the Yankees freaking stomped us, and on the way out, like people were walking up to me, they're like, "Thanks for the win." I'm like, off.
When we went to the Yankees Red Sox. It was
Oh man.
Wednesday
Sunday
night baseball.
Oh, Wednesday night baseball, yeah.
It was and we're sitting up in the stands, and it was this boyfriend and girlfriend sitting in front of us, and she on the back of her jersey, it's her Yankees jersey. It said, "I'm with stupid."
And it's pointing towards him. He's the Red Sox
Yeah,
fan.
it's pointing towards him, and she's being hella romantic with him.
Good
And I'm
God.
like,
Well,
that's like a funny. And Greg and my brother are like, "Shut the up, he doesn't know."
He had no idea, and everyone, like, as they would walk by, they were like, because they stood out because it's a Red Sox and a Yankee fan, and then they would walk by and they'd see that and they'd all laugh, and he had no idea.
Oh man.
But I will tell you though, like we were just like I think because we were all wearing our A's stuff because we had watched the A's game earlier that day, and the Yankee fans were actually awfully nice to us. I've been some places where the other fans are not very nice.
We were like,
yeah.
dude, Yankee fans here in New York are way better than Yankee fans in the Bay Area. You guys all suck out there.
Dude, we went to there was a bar called Foley's, I think, in
Yes,
we did
that's
too.
the bar we watched the A's game. Yep.
yeah, and there was some A's fans around there.
That was the A's bar, yeah.
They said Foley's is an A's bar, Philadelphia
Yeah,
A's bar.
Yeah, we were because I was kind of shocked about that. I was like, "What the hell is that doing out here in New York?" But
The best chicken wings you'll ever have.
I honestly don't remember. I think we just went in there because we were like short on time, so we went in there and like got a drink and left.
Oh, me and
But-
Greg, when we went there like 4 times in one New York trip.
Yeah. I told Greg this one time about because I never knew, and he didn't really know either, like about how things like broke down with New York teams. And I had a teacher one time that explained it to me because he was from New York, and he was a fan of the Mets, the Jets, the not the Islanders. What's the other team out there?
The Rangers.
The Rangers?
The Ranger. Okay, no, it was the Islanders. Okay, the Islanders and the
Nets.
missing one. Yeah, the Nets. And and so that means that the other people are fans of the Yankees, the Giants, the Rangers, and the Knicks. And Greg and I was telling Greg about that. He was like, okay, so that guy likes the other New York team. Got it.
He likes to lose a lot. That's what he does.
He
Yeah,
likes it.
I'm like, how does that split where you like one half of New York gets all the teams and the other half gets all the good ones?
Basically, Queens and all that side is all the Nets, or the Mets and Jets side, and then Manhattan and Brooklyn, all that is the Yankee side.
Dude, the place he got because he booked the hotel in New York, and we kept making jokes about, oh, as long as we're not in Queens, whatever. And the place he got the hotel wasn't Queens, but it was like pretty much Queens. It was like right
Yeah.
there. And he was like, "Oh shit, we're in Queens."
And then when him and I went after you guys, we ended up staying in that same area. He's like,
Yeah.
actually, it ended up being a pretty good spot because it has like all the trains right there.
Yeah, it's not far. Well, and then we were making like coming to America jokes the whole time. We'd be like, oh, anytime we need directions, we'll just be like, guide us to the most common parts of Queens.
All the parts are gone.
Hey,
Dude,
you guys.
I had to pee in we were at a subway station one time. It's like one of those above ground ones, and I was like, man, there's a bathroom. There's not going to be one around for a while. I really got to go. He was like, good luck with that, man. And then I come out, and he was like, how was it? And he was like, and I was like, it wasn't that bad. It just smells like hot piss in there. He's like, you might have to boil your shoes after.
My brother had a piece so bad in New York that he got talked into buying comedy tickets just to use the facility.
Good God. I would find some. I found out most of those places, if you walk in, they're not going to let you just piss. It's like, dude, you have a.
Yeah,
like,
they wouldn't let him in. He's like, he legit had to buy a comedy ticket.
Well, no, like any of like the public places, they're like they don't have public restrooms either. It's like, what the hell, man? Like, I don't know. Maybe they're afraid of people shooting up in them. I really don't know. But,
Foley's bathroom was at the bottom of the stairs, huh? In the basement.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember
And
that.
they had the ice in the urinals.
Yeah.
Hella old school.
Cool your hot piss.
The kitchen was in the basement too.
If we drink
Everything
piss,
in that thing was underground.
We drink it with ice.
You know what we got to do?
I mean, we
I
don't
thought it
drink
was
piss.
awesome. I missed that bar.
We got to take Maddie on one of these things.
No, he's not allowed to watch wrestling.
Oh my God, dude. Yeah, I think.
Well, we're trying to go to Vegas, right? Well, not you, TJ, because you're not allowed to leave. But the rest of us are trying to go to Vegas for WrestleMania, right?
I just made my
Yeah.
reservations for my hotel.
Dude, I was looking
What,
at
the
prices of,
friggin'
like-
Circus?
Hell yeah! 6%.
You know how far away that is from Allegiant?
Does it matter? It's fucking cheap.
It's Vegas.
I tried to get, I actually tried to do what we did last year for football, but it was hell of expensive.
Oh, Treasure Island.
No, last year,
Oh, Excalibur.
Excalibur.
You guys need to while you're in Vegas, make sure you get tickets to see Randy Newman. Or no, or
You got a friend in me?
or no, Paul. Paul
Paul Newman.
Yeah, get tickets to see Paul Newman. Then you
I'd
can
rather go
recreate
watch Rob Van Dam's wife strip.
Is
You gotta
Randy
get tickets
Newman
to Paul Newman
the Toy Story guy?
No, you gotta
So, we're
you gotta recreate that scene from the Simpsons where they're all the boys are in Vegas and Nelson makes them go to Randy Newman and Paul Newman, I mean, and they're all sitting there like, oh God, and he's sitting there like all enthralled on the edge of his seat. And when they leave, he's like, I didn't know if he was gonna do Moon River, and then bam, there it was. I remember walking down Broadway and talking about whatever Broadway shows when I was there with Greg, and I said something about one of the shows, whatever. He's like, "Oh, I don't know what that is because I'm not gay." I was like, "What the hell, dude?"
We were trying to go see Spider-Man. We couldn't get tickets.
Didn't one of the
Oh.
Spider-Men get really messed up in an accident during one of those shows?
Yeah, that was when it was going on. So
I remember we should go see Spider-Man. Was it Into the Dark or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Turn off the
yeah.
dark.
That's how Randy Marsh hurt himself and accidentally killed Shelley's boyfriend.
I'm sorry. I thought that was America.
Shout out to anybody who gets that reference, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Hella obscure episode of South Park, but
Not even early South Park, whatever was watching it either.
it was just like a random episode where Randy accidentally causes a young child to die.
I'm sorry, I thought that was America.
Dude, funny as they speaking of South Park, we always do you guys have KOA out there? Like a campground?
Sounds familiar.
No, we got I think more Comedy Central.
No, he's
Okay,
talking
yeah,
about. Is that a campground?
Yeah, it's a campground. It's called KOA, Campgrounds of America. Well,
I do know what you're talking about. Actually, yeah.
Heard
I
of
don't
it.
think we have one here, but
Spelling words that are supposed to be with a C with a K seems a little Midwesty that we don't really appreciate out here in California. But go on,
It's like spelling cat with a C.
that's not what I meant, Matt. But okay.
excuse me, damn. Yeah, I didn't think you guys had them because like when I mentioned it to Greg, he was like, "What the f is that?"
I'm going to go freaking camping, but go on.
Yeah, right. But my mother-in-law has like a camper, so we go camping a lot, and we do it for like Halloween, and they'll have like trick or treat at the campground, whatever. And we always
For sure,
rent,
that's
like,
the
a
beginning of scary movies, by the way.
Yeah, right.
In a
That's where they
camper.
always start.
Yeah.
Well, you can rent like golf carts and drive around, whatever. And we were like driving around looking at like all the decorations and like people's costumes and whatever. And we drive through, and this kid's freaking dressed like Mr. Hanky. And
Oh my god.
he's standing there with his dad, and we roll up. I'm on the back of I'm on the back of the golf cart. We roll up, and I'm like, howdy ho. And they start laughing, and as we're pulling away, we're like talking to him for a minute. And as we're driving off, I'm like, show him the true meaning of Christmas. Freaking dad, the dad loses his shit laughing.
You sing the whole song to him?
Dude, if I was the father, I would have hit my son and been like, why can't you do that?
I actually recently showed my kid the Mr. Hanky song.
Be like, this is what we're celebrating this year. Get used to it.
Get used to it.
He was
You're,
flushed for
you're
our
old enough.
sins.
You're old enough to understand this.
Yeah. You're old enough to get poop humor. This is sophisticated toilet humor, damn it. You need to understand. My God.
I think all of us. I told Matt this is like. There's times where I'm like, man, I would have texted Greg about this right now, or
Yep.
I would have.
Yeah, I know.
Just ask him his thoughts on whatever it was. It's not always wrestling either, just random stuff
I,
or things that
I know.
pop in my head.
I was gonna do it a few times just because it was still there, but then I'm like, Maddie's gonna answer me, and that's gonna be scary.
Yeah. Oh, dude, that's like that friend that I mentioned, Santiago, that passed away. He freaking logged on to PlayStation one day. I was like, what the f?
Oh, dude.
Ramon, yeah.
So my son has had Greg on a Nintendo, right?
Yeah.
And Matt still has access to his account because he still had it for the year. He's like, Dad, Greg's playing Nintendo. I'm like, no, the he's not. It's like, yeah, he is. And he showed me. I'm like, what the? And I was like, I texted Matt. I'm like, are you on your brother's place? Like, yeah. I'm like, you scared the shit out of me.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, and freaking like Santiago logged on, and then, well, not Santiago, but his account logged on, and I get like a game invite. I'm like, what the f?
Uh-oh.
And I message back, I'm like, who is this? And he's like, oh, I'm Santiago's son. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, this is about to get weird.
Yeah.
It's like in Friends when Joey's agent dies, and he's like, long distance. He's like, yeah, I'll say.
I forgot about that. Holy shit. Oh man. Yeah, that's I sold the Jeep that I had when we were in Detroit, but that sucked there for a while because like I was just driving around. I was like thinking about when we were in Detroit because obviously I was a chauffeur, so I was piloting us around the city.
You're driving that Jeep, you're like, man, I missed this turn and this turn because Greg can't freaking direct at all.
Luckily, I had my own GPS, and I was like, I got it. Did he tell you he got like freaking bombarded when he accidentally crossed the Canadian border?
Oh yeah. Actually, what's funny is I actually have his passport he just got.
Wow. Yeah, because he said he like accidentally, because you don't really see. It's like a little area where it's like it's on this side of the water, but it's still technically Canada, I guess. And he like just walked over there, and he had freaking mounted police up his ass. Like, what are you doing here? And he's like, whoa, holy shit.
And he's like, whoa, I know the big boss man, Mountie.
Where's your shock stick? And they're like,
Classic, by the way. Nobody appreciates the Mountie like I do from SummerSlam '91. That is one of the funniest things ever done.
Was that the one where he got booty blasted?
Pretty much.
When the guy comes up and goes, don't you just like the way leather feels against your body? And he turns over to the camera and goes, Jimmy Hart, let me out of here!
Speaking of mall rats, that reminds me of the end where Ben Affleck gets sent to prison. Good God.
The drunk guy comes up to him and he goes, get away from me. And the guy goes, you want to fight me, buddy? There's my buddy. And then that's when the dude comes up with the leather.
Yeah.
I'm not your buddy, guy. I'm not your guy, pal.
I'm not your pal, guy.
Good grief. Now here's the Prince of Canada ripping off his wife's arm as his tradition, shoving it directly up his own ass.
Freaking Ike.
Oh, he said, "Oh no, dragon has appeared."
Now this.
I'd like to see you have 2 tickets to Terrace Hill, please. No.
2 tickets, Terrence Phillip. Action on fire, please. No. Why not? Terrence Phillip.
What's another Greg one?
They are.
His reply, the no.
No.
Oh, jeez.
Good God. I like how Greg got most of the stuff I put on the soundboard, but sometimes I change it up on him. There was one I threw in. He was like, "Where the hell did that come from?" It was from I think the movie's called The Boy or something like that with Robert De Niro and Leo DiCaprio in it.
Oh, this boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, this boy. Yeah, where the sound clip was just Robert De Niro going,
Liar, whore, and you know it.
I played that after a Dave Meltzer story, and Craig was like, "What the fuck?"
That's what you guys play. So I listen to your pod. I'm like, I have no idea what the hell that sound clip says or it's from.
Yeah, he was like, "What does he say?" I said, "He said liar, whore, and you know it." He was like, "Okay."
Another Greg's favorite line was, "Walker says I have AIDS."
Oh my God!
It's the freaking kid from It's the kid from the Sixth Sense.
Yeah, I remember that. It's just like, well, howdy there, partner, and they're having like a normal conversation. He's like, "Walker says I have AIDS." Like,
Walker says I have AIDS.
Like, oh, I see you're still playing your character from Forrest Gump. Got it. Sure, Danny, I'll raise the AIDS, baby.
I remember a phrase too. Every time it was like hella hot, and here he's from Ace Ventura, warm. When he's in the old elephant.
Oh god.
Dude, I said that to myself the other day in my office. They had the heater on. I'm like, warm.
Well, we're all gonna die.
Uh-oh.
Joe, are you getting towed away?
No, making sure my battery wasn't dead.
Dude, freaking.
Will it be the first time this month?
Oh God.
Or the last.
I remember he and I got into an argument about air conditioning one time. So I said something about he was complaining about it being hot or something. I was like, "Yeah, I'll never buy a house without central air." And he was like, "I'm not paying for that."
That's how they get you.
That's how they get you.
I was like, "Dude, so you're just gonna lay in ball sweat all the time? Like, what the hell, man?"
Man, that fool would sweat.
Yeah, he was like, I'm not paying for air to run air conditioning. That's hella expensive. I'm like, yeah, I'd rather pay the extra few bucks to be comfortable. Like, I'm not.
I like how this fictitious hypothetical situation. He's like, "No, I'm not paying for that." in this hypothetical scenario where you have enough money to own your own house, he's like, "No, I'm not paying for extra."
Yeah, he was like, "I wouldn't run that." I'm like, so like I wish I would have asked him. It's like, so in theory, if you had central air in your house, you wouldn't use it. Like,
I don't know.
Yeah, it's like that's nuts.
Just like, and then you would friggin' share a hotel room with them, and that fool would have the air full blast. Like it's
Yeah, right.
Well, that's paid for. That's paid for.
I paid for this with the hotel. I'm using it.
Yeah, I didn't even.
And then we would leave. We would leave the hotel and do whatever we're doing, and he would turn it on full blast as we left. It'll be cool when we get back. It'll be nighttime when we get back, you psycho.
At least we'll be hot in here.
It was 102 at night.
Dude,
Oh man.
we would come back, or I would get to the hotel, like, if he got there before me, I'd get to the hotel room, like, I'm like, damn, it's like an effing icebox in here. And I'm like, you're sleeping next to it. Like, I'm not taking that freaking bed. And
he always needed the one next to the fan.
Yeah, I'd be like, I'm not sleeping in that freaking in that bed next to the damn icebox you got blowing. Like, holy shit.
And then he'd end up sweating through his shirt, so he'd freaking take it off and then put it next to the fan so it'd air out.
Dude, the first time he met the friend of mine that we went to Columbus together, and we got there was only 2 beds and a pull-out couch, and he told me, he's like, "You're sleeping with him." I'm like, I was like, bullshit. Like, I'll sleep on the damn floor first. And this fool, like, my friend like just kept like bitching and bitching about, oh, it hurts my back to sleep on that pull-out couch, and when he kept whining, I was like, if you'll shut the F up, I'll take the couch. Holy shit. And then the next time we shared a hotel, this fool like clogged the toilet and didn't. And,
Oh yeah, that story. Yeah.
and Greg was so pissed.
Sorry. He texted me that during that time.
I think he told me that one too.
He texted me. He's like, "This motherfucker."
He was like, "You're gonna go down to the front desk and get a damn plunger." And then the dude acted like he didn't know how to plunge the toilet. And I was like, "I'm not doing it for him." Greg's like, "I'll be damned."
That's what happens when you put onions on his plain cheeseburger.
Yeah, right. Dude, I still remember coming home because I had just gotten over COVID, and my stomach still wasn't right. And we ate at Logan's or whatever, one of them or not Logan's, Longhorn. We ate at Longhorn, and on the way back, my stomach was just hitting me all the way. I was like having the shivers, and we got back to the hotel, and I was like, "I'll meet you guys back up at the room. I'm gonna blow up the one in the little lobby." I was like, "You'll thank me late." I was like, "You'll thank me later. Trust me." But then that fool ends up clogging the one upstairs. I'm like, "You gotta be me."
Literally.
Yeah, right. And then the fact that he thought he could leave it, and we're like, "Wait, we're
not."
Oh
no!
It's like we're not gonna take care of it for you, man. What the hell?
Yeah, he had to call his dad to figure out what ibuprofen he needed.
Oh man, yeah, and it took 20 minutes. Hey, I know. Hey, Dad, what pills do I put in my own body?
This one time we went to Outback. It was me, Greg, and my son. And then my son's a picky eater, but he was super picky at the time. So he'd only get plain cheeseburgers, just like you were describing. But, he's 4 at the time. But, just meat and cheese, right? And I ordered the burger for him.
He was ordering it last week.
He still orders it that way, too. But now he'll order other stuff. But if he orders a cheeseburger, it's still plain, just meat and cheese. And the guy brings it, and it's literally just the bun and a piece of meat. I'm like, where's the cheese? He's like, you said plain. I said, yeah, plain cheeseburger. That's what makes it a cheeseburger is the cheese. Yeah. And then Greg's like, God. This guy's a idiot.
And the thing about him too, he says it so blatant at him, like, dude, let him walk away and then say it. Like, you're embarrassing him. I remember the A's were facing the Angels. Oh, was it the Angels? I believe last year, and the guy, his number was Hunter Renfroe. He was on the Angels, and the guy and some idiot was sitting there. Oh, Hunter Renfroe! I thought you played for the Raiders. And he's all, shut the hell up. He knows how to catch a ball. I'm like, this goddamn idiot.
Actually, that Hunter Renfroe's name is spelled differently than the one on the Raiders. No.
Yeah. And then he says, what does it even matter? You're talking about a guy that's already traded, done, gone. I was like,
good God. Dude,
Matt, remember when we used to walk through the Coliseum telling all the other teams their team sucked?
Yeah.
Dude,
I remember we were on the news. That was amazing.
Oh yeah, I was just telling my son about that. And he's like, "You guys were on the news?" I'm like, "Yeah, we were."
This guy, I guess the woman survived, so it's okay to poke fun a little bit. But you guys remember like a few years ago, like some woman apparently like the final game of the Raiders season, she like jumped from the top of the stadium.
It wasn't the final game. I was at that game. It wasn't the final game, but I was at that game.
Yeah,
supposedly she fell or something, but
dude,
she didn't.
Greg's response to that was he was like, "Dude, our season was over a long time ago. You ain't killed now."
It took you till now to do this?
Yeah, I know. He was like, "Dude, he was like week 6, man." I was like, "Holy crap, you're not wrong." But wow.
Just jump in.
Man, holy crap.
Just one more time, go buy a fig, go donate it to kids, because that's what Greg would have did.
Yes, please.
We shall.
And plug your nose and watch a terrible Fast and Furious movie.
Put ketchup on a hot dog and go cheer for only strictly baby faces.
Exactly. Go
and make a pop for every return.
Yeah, watch watch AEW, but only to be able to bitch about it.
Hey, Greg would always say though, you can't complain about the company unless you actually watch it first.
To which
That
I
was
say,
my thing.
to which I always say, bullshit. I can complain about wherever the hell I want.
You can't tell me what to do.
Watch me.
I have a podcast. Don't stop. You can't stop.
Yeah. It's like, look, I have a YouTube channel and I know how to use it. Okay.
Well, actually, this story
big
was
boy.
very good.
I actually have multiple stories about multiple videos about video games that I've never played, will never play, and I still took a massive on it. So there you go.
Content is content.
Exactly. Look, I don't have to play it to know that it sucks. Okay, just like certain movies, it's like, look, you clearly
AKA
suck.
Anthem. That game Anthem was just straight hot trash.
I thought you meant the owners of TNA.
Yes.
Them too.
Yes, the answer is yes. That's it.
That was another Greg thing. You give him two options, and the answer was yes.
Oh, look at him. I was looking. I still got all our messages saved. I'm looking through the messages right now, and he sent me a picture of the Shawn Michaels belt and asked me, "Do you need this?"
Oh,
Jackass.
I always
The,
loved
the-
where when he would text me randomly and or we'd be talking, he'd be like, "Be on the lookout for such and such figure."
Yeah, he always had his list.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I actually have a specific one. People eye out for Roman Reigns' Ninja Turtles.
I told you to get
Shredder.
that one when we were in.
I know. Shut up, Ramon. Shut up. You shut your mouth,
Buy it
boy.
when you had the
You
chance.
shut your mouth, boy. Jamie Noble, boy.
Dude, that was another one. I'd randomly do a Jamie Noble impression on the podcast.
That was always his thing. It's Jamie Noble, boy.
On SmackDown or no at Crown Jewel, Jamie Noble got beat up. I was like, "It's Jamie Noble, boy."
He's
Come on,
fucking
girl,
back.
show me your titties. Dude,
Oh, jeez.
oh Lord.
My
he
first,
sent-
my
I-
first, co- my first
sorry.
conversation with sorry, I was my first conversation with Greg was crapping on TNA, and my last conversation with Greg was crapping on AEW. we were talking crap about Sammy Guevara or something when the day passes. It's just like I think that was pretty fitting. Our entire friendship was
Oh,
crapping
man.
on professional wrestling.
Yeah, I'm also looking for Tatanka's. I forgot this.
Superstars
figure.
line, right?
Yes.
Is that those Master Universe built like figures or?
Yeah, that one, but the newer version looks like the old AWA figures.
Oh, okay.
But yeah,
I
they're
remember
like
on a-
Master Universe size. Like, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I see
Yeah.
that. Tongue.
I remember.
I was looking for that to Don't Cooking. You find it again.
Yeah, I remember
Oh,
on
if I
a
find it,
podcast with TJ.
Oh.
You guys were talking about how my brother was saying I don't own any Tatanka figures, and he doesn't. So I'm looking for that.
I do.
Ah.
Jax. So he wouldn't touch it because it's Jax.
You went there.
I got to figure that.
He'd be like, "Ew, gross." Oh, that was another Gregism. Like, "Ew, gross."
Yep.
Oh yeah. The hey Stan. Bleh. Ew, gross.
Ew, gross.
Or if there'd be multiple people, he'd be like, "Hey there, fellers."
Yeah.
You know, he'd make fun of you, DJ, of how often you would say you had a figure of some random job guy. We'd be watching a show. Oh, geez, you got to figure this dork.
You know I do.
Oh man, it's Deuce and Domino. You know, DJ.
I actually
It's
I actually
Maven.
don't. I do have a Maven. I'm not even
Hey,
gonna lie.
Raven's got a
about
great YouTube channel.
Good
what I
song.
heard, dude. I sent him.
He
Yeah.
also had a great theme song.
Where he tells stories.
Say what?
Probably bullshit stories.
I sent him this one right after Survivor Series. I said this is the best one yet, and it was CM Punk looking to the one side when he comes back to WWE, and it says, "Why is there people on hard cam?"
Oh, Punk actually made reference to that like a couple weeks ago. He's like, "There's people up there actually."
Oh, yeah.
He's like, "There's people on this side of the camera." He said something like that. I'm like, "Oh, I was a shot at AEW."
He said, "LMFAO, holy the accuracy."
Remember when Adam Copeland, when Ed shows up at Wrestle Dream and he does his big entrance and he looks to the other side, he's like, you can just see the look in his eyes. He's like, "There's nobody over here."
That's exactly what happened to Ricochet tonight, actually, on AEW. I was watching, I was just like, oh, Lord. They panned out to the whole crowd, and I'm like, oof, don't do that.
Keep it tight. Keep it tight.
So stupid when they do it. It's like, you know there are no people over there. I sent him one.
Oh, no. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. I sent him this one picture. It's that meme of like Stone Cold talking to somebody, And it says, so when you punched Luke Perry's kid in the face after that you performed at Wembley, help me out here, son. Was that a work or were you straight up shooting here?
Always doing his podcast.
Yeah. And he said, this episode will happen. And I
Yeah, when he
said,
talks to whatever random AEW guy shows up in WWE.
Yeah.
I swear to you guys, in Hell in a Cell when he was facing Drew, I really thought in that bag was glass. I really thought he was gonna say real glass. Cry me a river.
Cry me a river. Real glass.
Good Lord. Let's see. King. This must have been an episode of AEW. He said, "Kings of the Black Throne versus the Boys is the lowest rated TV match in history." Now, to be very fair, it was up against SmackDown, but still, damn. And I said, "Who are those people?" LOL.
And that was another great one. It was, hey, it's that guy.
Oh yeah. Hey.
He loved this one. I don't know if I told him where it was from, but it was from an ICP wrestling show, whatever. But he always loved when I was like, now it's time for the who the are these guys match.
Dude, JCW.
Hell yeah. But I literally
Below
said,
champion wrestling.
Exactly.
Literally.
But I was like, who are those people? LOL. And are the Boys the guys who follow Dalton Castle? And he said, yep.
Oh, that was another one when Dalton Castle beats Cody Rhodes for the Ring of Honor title. Or sorry, he beats Cody for the Ring of Honor title.
Just Cody.
Exactly.
Just Cody. And then he's like, in the video package, he's like, he kicked me in my dick. My dick. Every once in a while, be like, my dick.
My dick. Good Lord.
He kicked me in my dick.
I forgot about that one.
My dick.
I like that we were talking about because he sent me a Jim Cornette, like a freaking random ass Jim Cornette thumbnail, and we were talking about that. And I was like, I said I went on Fiverr to find someone who specializes in YouTube promotion, and they were all Indian or Arab. Red flag.
Their name is Bob, and they live in Detroit.
Oh, of course. Yeah. I said, yep, I've got, I've seen your YouTube content and it's great, but I can get your numbers up with SEO and organic viewing numbers. Right. And he said, only going to cost you $100.
Some prince from Nigeria or something that's going to help you out.
Yeah.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
You have to help him save his princess.
Lord. Yeah, I like how he starts sending me CM Punk stuff after he returns to WWE.
Wait, what was that?
He starts sending me CM Punk stuff after he returned to WWE.
Oh yeah.
You know, like as you know, Punk returns and he's gone that week, man. That's like the last thing. That's the last thing we watched.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. I'm looking back at the timeline here.
Yeah.
So Punk returns at a Survivor Series on Saturday. Me and my brother are in Vegas for our football thing. We come back and we watch the Raw when Punk gives the. I go to Greg's house and watch the Raw when Punk gives the "I'm here to make money. I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to make money" line.
Yeah.
And that's the last time I saw him.
Yeah, I knew something was bad when you called me because you never called me. So I was like, oh,
yeah, I never even talked to you through the phone at all.
Yeah, he called me.
Yeah. It was weird that because I was like, it's like a weird random grim thought, but I was like, man, because I don't really like, I know Don and Ramon, but I don't really know anybody else out there. I was like, if anything ever happened to Greg, I was like, I don't even know if I would know about it or if I'd just stop hearing from him one day. But
right.
I was glad somebody was able to reach out about it.
Well, my main thing was to let basically his specific friend over lifetime know, that way he can, if he knew anybody branched out, he can let you guys know, and I'm glad he did.
Yeah, because there were people he talked to through either they listened to the podcast or he had done guest appearances on podcasts or something, and I reached out to them and let them know too. So I tried.
I'm glad we got to do a 4-hour podcast of making fun of them. This is for you, man.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, it's very fitting for Greg.
Let's just make fun of him for 4 hours.
Yeah, and then he'd message us later. He'd be like, "Fuck you guys."
Yeah. Hey, would any of you ever get a random text at 3 in the morning from Greg "fuck you" or anything like that?
Not quite like that. He would send me
I would get
the night.
Yeah, that too.
I just texted y'all a picture. That's the shit that he would send to me.
Oh,
I love the big photography.
Dude,
this is one This is one of the last effed up messages we sent back and forth. I sent him something about. I said Tammy Sitch has been sentenced to 10.6 years in prison for driving with a suspended license causing death. Then another 7 years for DUI manslaughter to be served following that. She then has 8 years of probation. And he replied with, "She'll be out killing someone in no time."
Sonny.
So effed up, but not wrong. Oh, look at this. I said, "You just know MJF got his shoulder hurt from carrying the damn company." And he said, "Yep, I hope he gets the F out."
Well,
Yeah, not quite.
Oh, man.
Oh, here's a funny one that I got from him.
Yeah.
He says, as always, did you see what happened to Roderick? Dumped right on his damn neck by Action Andrade. He said, Cole's been hurt twice. Roderick is getting banged up. Kyle O'Reilly broke his neck. They basically drove Bobby Fish out of wrestling. Con ruined the Undisputed Era.
Yep.
yeah, O'Reilly was out for hella long.
Broke his neck. Shouldn't even be
Broke
back.
his freaking neck. He did eventually come back, but
Yeah, but hey, you know what? He didn't want to go metal, I'll tell you that. With the broken freaking neck.
Dude, he sent me a picture of Tony Khan with the coach of the Panthers
Oh.
or the coach of the Jaguars, and they're like pointing at each other. And I was like, "Wow, so damn sad." And he said, "I kind of feel bad for him. He probably had a mental breakdown." I said, "How awkward was it when he tells the coach, 'Hey, let's put our arms around each other and then point at each other. Trust me.'"
and then I'm gonna fire his ass. Something I was like, man, I would have texted Greg about this was the whole Tony Khan NFL draft and the neck brace thing.
Oh gosh.
It's like he would have been making fun of this so much.
Oh my.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Dude, he would be like, "What an effing dork."
I'm embarrassed as a wrestling fan and a football fan.
And thirdly, I'm embarrassed as a member of the human species.
Right. This is so cringe.
Dude, we were talking about going to WrestleMania together. He would have freaking, like, when I was watching WrestleMania, I was like, man, he'd be blowing his load for this.
I still would have been like, I don't know, man. I don't know if he would have cheered for Cody. He might have still been cheering for Roman.
I
Oh yeah, he would've. Yeah, right. He'd have been cheering for The Rock and Roman the whole time. Dude, anybody in front of him would have been in the splash zone. I'll say that.
like you used to say.
like, whoa, dude, I can only get so hard. All right. Oh man.
Oh jeez.
Yeah. Lord, a bunch of. He sent me some like workout powder or whatever, is pre-workout powder that's called Woke AF.
Oh
yeah.
Yeah.
I was like the F. He said Woke and Young Bucks. Sign me up.
All right, just like the beginning of this podcast, I really gotta go pee.
Yeah, right. Well, let's
You want to close it out?
Yeah, it's been going for a while, so we've talked enough.
Go pour one out for Greg. Sparkling water.
Oh my god, yeah.
He loves those.
His grapefruit sparkling water, by the way, specifically.
Yeah, or one of those coffees in a can that you get from the official store of the Main Event Marks, the Dollar Tree.
When you're an adult, the Dollar Tree's your best friend.
Yeah, and always remember what Greg and I would always agree on: that LaCroix sucks major balls.
All those sparkling waters suck.
You're not wrong. But
I do like the bubbles. Anyways, there's a good one for you guys right there.
A little bit of the bubbly.
God. Good grief. Talk about America. In front of the freaking Disney.
How did he get that crown from?
That was the guy carried it around. You don't remember?
No.
Holy shit. That's the dorkiest picture I've ever seen of Greg.
And that's why we have to end on that one.
Look at the hand that's not holding the torch. He's doing like the Rodberg or the Talladega Nights. I don't know what to do with my hands.
Or the Orange Cassidy half finger up.
He looks like he's about to get a gold star for not his pants in class.
It was a good point in there. He didn't poop himself.
Oh man. All right. Well, anyway, to let everybody know, if you are listening in audio form, you can definitely go visit the YouTube pages, all the archives on there, plus new stuff all the time. It's youtube.com/at main event, at Marks on Media. If you want to follow me on Rumble, I'm trying to grow that. It's rumble.com/C/Marks on Media or C/main event Marks. Forgot the damn name. You can follow me on X and Instagram at Marks_on_media, and Facebook is Marks on Media Tube. Thank you all for joining me today on this very long, interesting podcast. It's cool. Go ahead.
Real quick, I just want to thank everybody for listening and for everybody coming into the podcast and hanging out with me and remember my brother. I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anytime, bro.
Anytime, dude.
Yeah, this was awesome. Love talking to you all, and it was fun. It was cathartic, and yeah, happy holidays, everybody. And I don't
Merry
have the
Christmas.
soundboard with me right now. Yeah, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Hanukkah, Merry
Thanksgiving.
Christmas, yeah, Thanksgiving,
Happy
Merry
holidays.
Kiss my ass, Merry Kiss his
Go
ass.
go donate to Toys for Tots, guys.
Yes, Toys for Tots.
Exactly. ToysForTots.com. You can donate on there, or like Ramon said, you find drop boxes outside of a bunch of different kinds of stores. So, yeah, like, subscribe, follow the channel, and we will see you all next time. Later.